The amount of white people that actually like hate themselves for being white is actually just insane. Just want to acknowledge that every other ethnic group in the US will literally have stuff that says I'm proud to be whatever, and quite frankly, like, we just get told to like hate ourselves. And I think a large sect of people don't, like, they're just like, that's crazy. But like the people that, as the mainstream say, virtue single, I guess, that like they hate themselves, like, bro, what are you doing? Like, it's crazy. Like, hating how you look is actually crazy.
You know what's never made sense to me as a white person in the white community is when I, a very pale, pasty person, I don't look it right now because my lighting makes me look more tan than I am, getting picked on by other white people for being white. Even like now in my adult years, I'm 24, I get asked, have you ever thought about tanning? You look so much better with a little bit of color. Like, no, baby, this is my natural skin tone. I am white. I am about as white as the pieces of paper on my desk. I am about as white as the blankets on my bed. That's okay. Why are you trying to change your skin color? That's fucking weird.
I want to talk about being white because it's awkward and in many cases very much frowned upon. White people have been accused of so many crimes. They've been called racist or white supremacist or neo-Nazi for simply wanting to preserve their own cultures and their own race. Every culture wants that. Every race wants that. But for some reason now it's bad when white people want to. Even white people have prejudice against white people. I almost swiped left on my partner, Edward, who's a super white Norwegian guy. I almost passed on him because he was white. I speak 3 languages, which is extremely rare as a white American, and because I've traveled a lot early in my life, which is also pretty rare for white Americans, I had it in my head that Edward was a stereotypical, empty-headed, that dopey white guy you see on TV and movies. That was racism I had against my own race. I didn't yet know that racism can be programmed into us by our media. Seriously, how many TV shows do you watch where the white guy is the idiot in the room, right? I recently saw a video clip of Muhammad Ali talking about how not racist it is to want to be around people who look like you and have similar traditions and culture. This isn't unique to any one race. Everybody feels good doing this. He said bluebirds fly with bluebirds, red birds fly with red birds, white birds with white birds, brown with brown, and so on. In so many ways, I see racism as a weapon against all of us, including white people. There are literally Arabs and Jews and Africans and Latinos who have extreme racism against white people, but this goes ignored because our sick society has conditioned people to accept it as justified because white people have been labeled as the source of all evil. There are powers out there trying to get rid of the white race because they believe it is, quote, a cancer on the earth. Come on, really? Isn't such a wicked and hateful ideology the real cancer here? It doesn't matter what color you are. Assholes come in all different shapes, all different sizes, colors, religions, and so do conscious thinkers. Character is what matters, not color. We are under attack on all sides to turn against each other, to pit people against people when the real war is people versus power. If you want to stand up to power and transcend the matrix of lies in a peaceful, enlightened way with other souls from all backgrounds all over the world, you will love what we're up to inside the Conscious Rebels Network. Go to the link in my profile or head to consciousrebelsnetwork.com to learn more. Join the movement to leave the lies behind. Let's get free.
You shouldn't be ashamed for your whiteness. I know people are going to be like, bro, what are you talking about, though? And you shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed because other white people, all right, you know what I mean, are racist toward other ethnicities. Like, I get it. You're ashamed for the people that share a similar skin color to you. But at the same time, we're the same species. these other people that are obviously being racist toward not only myself, but just other people with darker pigmentations, they're just not intelligent human beings, if that makes sense. We're all humans. We're all humans. That's our species. Regardless of the skin color you wear or whatever, we're human. Just like a lot of our ancestry or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not a scientist though, but I do know scientifically we are all of the same species, come from different parts of the world, and we may look different from each other. But the one thing within my series known as the Blackfist, I am plugging it up, this is issue number 3 by the way, is that we're all stronger together. We're all stronger together as a unit, as humanity. That's the whole point. And I think this is something that people are going to find out later on within the series though, but like, that's really the message that I really want to send, is that we are all stronger together. You know what I mean? And I feel like one day we just need to like come to that realization and just realize, you know what, like, why are we racist to each other? Why do we hate each other? Why are we fighting each other? Why are we killing each other? It just doesn't make any sense. I just want him to get on here and gap. Yeah.
Can we bring back not shaming people for their skin color? Now, I know what you're thinking. Lauren, it's 2022. Nobody shames anybody for their skin color anymore. Right, it should totally be that way. But one of the things that people comment to me the most is variations of, why are you so white? But then these same people will go and tell a white girl that got tan, why'd you get tan? Are you trying to be darker? No, I don't get tans for the same reason a person might get tan. Because I don't want to spray tan and I'm not ready to get cancer from the sun. I'm happy with the way that I look. Is it hard to find foundation that's my color? Yes. But in no way should people be shaming me for how white I am. If y'all shame someone the polar opposite of me for being so dark, y'all will get called out so fast it'd make your head spin. So why is it okay for people to do that to me?
This really cracks me a lot. Honestly, white people are shameless. You're white. And you say you don't like being white. How? And then you see me that I'm a black person and you don't like me. Is that not confusion? To be honest, I'm just saying this for the first time. I'm like, no, let's talk about it. Have you seen situations where white people say they hate being white? Come on. This is really, really shameless. And I don't know. Am I the only one feeling that way? Anyways, let's just watch those videos. I'll be back with the commentary. Just keep watching.
So I seen this post and stuff talking about white women don't like to be called white anymore. And I really thought I was tripping because I'm really not used to white women doing it. But I have been seeing it a lot lately on these dating profiles now. And I'm used to black women doing that shit. Honestly, yeah, black women be like, oh, I miss with this, I miss with that. But it be they great granddad or grandmama or whatever that's Native American and they think. But anyway, back to the white women. The white women don't like to be called white. I was on a dating app the other day. I seen this. The white girl was fine. But the post, her bio said Italian and Hispanic. I'm like, Italian and Hispanic? I'm like, ain't Italian white? I'm like, why she just didn't say she was white and Hispanic? Like what? And then I be seeing like everybody, like they say they nationality now, like white people, like I'm Irish in this. Oh, I'm German in this. I'm like, what?
Hopefully be a seed of apology from the white community for what we are seeing, because my colleague today said to me, I'm ashamed of being white, and I feel that too. What is happening is awful.
Get ready with me while I tell you everything I hate about being a white Dominican. Having to prove myself every single day. Every single day to everybody. Oh, you don't look Dominican. What is a Dominican supposed to look like? Because I can guarantee you some of them look like me. Like, I'm not... What the hell? Why? Am I, like, not Platano face enough for you or something? Like, what's... And then sometimes it be your own people. It sometimes be your own freaking people telling you, oh, no, tú no te pareces dominicana. Como la tuya no se parece igualita a mí. ¿Verdad? No, claro que no. Como que tú no tienes alguien en la familia tuya que se parece igualita a mí. Coño. Something like my family looks like it's more my husband's family. So they always think I'm like the wife. Like, that's not my family. Shit pisses me off too. It's like, nah, bro, that's my family. It's just we come in a lot of shades. We come in a lot of shades, my dude. Not being able to do typical Dominican shit without being side-eye. Now, we all know, all right, now, maybe, I got buried, okay? I got dragged for putting a video of me in a tubi. Ooh, I got dragged for that, okay? I had so many people in my comments just dragging me for no reason. Why is it that I can't? Why? Because I'm white? So the fuck what? It's 2025. Let's get over that shit. Como que it's not that serious. Diablo. La gente se obsesiona con el color de la piel de uno. Why? Why? Un maldito tubi. Dime. Porque soy blanca. Me comieron. Ripiao. Siempre me preguntan, ¿tú naciste allá o aquí? Does that shit really fucking matter, my dude? Tú le preguntas a la gente dominicana de allá, de Santo Domingo, ¿tú naciste aquí o allá? Dime. ¿No es la misma mierda? Ay, Dios. Entonces, I made a video explaining that my husband is Dominican as well, pero I don't do Dominican stuff because of my husband. It's because I'm Dominican. And había mucha gente diciendo que sí, que le pasa lo mismo a ellos, que ellos son blancos, que siempre tienen que preguntar, tienen que comprobar, tienen que decir esto. 100,000 preguntas porque nadie le cree. Why? La gente le quiere llevar la vida a uno. Why? Y no que eso me molesta, tú sabes. Yo estoy haciendo un video. No porque me molesta, tú sabes. Pero como que uno a veces se cansa. Yo entiendo, está bien. Yo soy blanca, con ojos azules, explícame. Yo entiendo. But it's not that serious. Yo sé que hay mucha gente que se siente igualita como yo. O sea, no te preocupes, mi amor, que tú no estás sola en esto. Todos los blancos hispanos, por favor, vamos a unirnos, a hacer nuestra propia category. No sé, a decir de dónde diablos estamos, porque nadie nos cree. So, vamos a ponernos todos juntos. Vamos a decir algo. Somos aliens. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna start saying some shit like that. ¿De dónde tú eres? Ah, de Pluto. Yo soy de Pluto. Dime. Yo llegué los otros días de Pluto. Mira. Me van a hallar a mí hablando mucha mierda. Casi se me olvida. Cuando te dicen a ti de que habla español. Why? Because now I'm really not gonna do it because you telling me to do it. No. No te voy a hablar en español, no. Yo lo que te puedo decir un par de cosas en español sí, pero no te van a gustar lo que son. Ay, la gente. Ay, Dios. Ya, dame cerrar este video porque yo estoy hablando demasiado y me tengo que ir. Me fui, me quité.
You think a white person, especially a racist white person, is looking at me and thinking I'm white? You're delusional. Plastic surgery, especially the Kardashians, have warped y'all's mind of what people of color look like. White passing doesn't just mean to look white, which I obviously do not. It also means to live as a white person. For example, black people who could pass as white would live their lives as white people to escape things like segregation and slavery. I might be ethnically ambiguous, but I am perceived as a woman of color, and I live as a woman of color. I'm proud of my name, I'm proud of my culture. Now, if you want to talk about my skin tone, yes, I am fair-skinned. Fair-skinned does not mean white. And if you want to talk about privilege that comes with being fair-skinned, yes, I do have privilege, especially in my own community, but that is different than white privilege. Punjabi and Sindhi, which are two ethnic groups in South Asia, because that probably means nothing to you, and you probably don't know that India and the rest of South Asia has multiple skin tones and ethnic groups. मैं अपने लोकम, अपनी संस्कृति ते भाषा नु जान दिया. तू की जान दिया है? फिट्टे मुंह.
Oh, it's like you can't even say you're proud of being white anymore. Yup, because that's weird and tasteless. And I just think that's a weird thing to say, okay?
It is very different if you say I'm proud of being Belgian or Swedish or Dutch or whatever country your ancestors are from. That's fine. You're associating with a particular culture. I see no problem with that, right? But it is also very different to say you're proud of being white than it is to say you're proud of being gay or black or trans or Asian or Jewish or whatever, right? Because those are all oppressed groups in this country, right? These are groups that fight daily for recognition. And so when you say you're proud of being part of one of them, that is an act of resistance, right? That is fighting the power. When you say you're proud of being white, you are, if anything, reinforcing the power and kind of weirdly flexing your privilege. Right, it's fine to think that, right? You can think, oh boy, do I love being white. Cause obviously you get a fuck ton of privilege. Why did you feel the need to say it? Why do you so badly want to say it to everyone? That is the question, right? There's nothing inherently wrong, per se, with saying you like being white, right? There's nothing terribly racist about that sentence on its own. But you add the historical context of everyone who ever says that being a Nazi or a white supremacist, and then you add that to the fact that we all know you like being white because you get a lot of fucking privilege. It's it just reads weird, you know? If you had a reason, if you're I love being white because I fuck with casserole, you know, I'd be okay, this guy just loves casserole and that's why he loves white culture. Sure. But that's not why you're saying it, right? Because the people that are going around with feeling the need to say they love being white, are always racist. They're always racist. And it's not because they love being white, it's because they're just fucking racist. You know, so it's just, I don't know why you feel the need to fucking say that to people. What is your end game? What are you trying to get out of that? What conversation starts with, guys, I'm just proud of being white? Everyone goes, okay, man. Sure, dude.
As a white queer person from rural Illinois who moved to Portland about 10 months ago, I can say with confidence, I hate it here. It is so white and it seeps into every space. Nora, I can hear you all say in unison, you appear to be white. Shouldn't that make things easier for you? I don't know if you knew this. White people make places miserable to be. I tried moving to Chicago before moving out here, and you can't even say the word Chicago within earshot of Multnomah County without people being like, Chirac? Black people? Portland as a city is so insanely performative. Anything you've heard an Israeli say about a Palestinian, I've heard Portlanders say about homeless people. If I had the money to leave and St. Louis's public transportation wasn't shit, I'd move back home. I don't like it here.
One thing about me is I'm a white woman. I'm a white bitch. I'm 36% Irish. I'm a fucking redhead. Okay, I went to Tijuana to have a breast lift and implant surgery. The very first video I ever posted about it, I said Tijuana. I pronounced it Tijuana because every other white bitch in my life says Tijuana. I didn't know. I was corrected. So now I say Tijuana. Because apparently in my comments, that's how you're supposed to say it. I've been saying it that way. Now in my comments, it's, oh, you say it so funny, Tijuana. What do you want? What do you want me to do? I don't speak Spanish. Those sounds aren't, my throat don't make them. Also, do you want me to talk like a white woman and be like, I just got surgery in Tijuana? No, absolutely not. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry I don't speak Spanish. Sorry I'm white. I hate it too. Also, I'm married to a Mexican man. Sleep with him in this bed every night. So my stance on immigration goes without saying.
I don't want to be a white girl. I've never, been a white girl. I've been treated as a white person and I am white, but I don't necessarily identify.
Sure.
I don't identify myself as white. Sure. I identify myself as a Cuban American, as Latina.
You are, by lineage, you are no different than the typical Caucasian in this country. Just the white American. You're equally the same European descent. However, because your parents are from Cuba, just on that little thing alone would cause the white American to reject you. Am I right on that?
Yep, that's fair.
You're equally the same people as the gringos. You're equally the same same European descent, German descent, whatever, right? As the white people here, but because your parents...
Biologically, my father was of European descent, of German descent. My mother, as far as I can identify, again, it's been harder to track down my mother's lineage than it has my father's lineage. But as far as I can track down, my mother is French, Spanish, and Portuguese.
You prefer to identify Hispanic rather than a white person, right? Like the gringo.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would support that you are a Hispanic or Latino, whichever. I actually support that because technically you fit the criteria of Hispanic and or Latino because you are a Spanish speaker and you descend from Europe. That to me is exactly what a Hispanic or Latino is. Your heritage is European descent. The language of Spanish is obviously Latin language. So yes, you are Hispanic and Latino. Where I said is, do you categorize me also under the same umbrella as Latino, Hispanic? And you said yes. And I said, how does that work? And you explained because we speak the same language. And I said, the only reason why I speak your language is because your people took away mine. That's why I speak yours. You speak it because that's actually your European heritage to speak it. I speak it because your people took away my language and forced us to speak yours. So that actually makes us two different types of people.
Yeah, I'm the colonizer and you're the colonized.
Absolutely. The fact that you're trying to categorize me under the same umbrella as you because I speak the language that your people forced me to speak, I disagree that I am also a Latino and Hispanic on the strength of that. On the strength of that. So do you understand then when I say that I agree that you are the Latino and Hispanic? That is what I'm always trying to fight for. That it's people like you who should be the Latino and Hispanic, but people like me are not, because the only thing that makes me a Hispanic is the fact that I speak Spanish. I'm against that because how could you categorize me in the same as you if the reason why you speak Spanish is because that's actually your true heritage. Me, I speak it because people of your heritage took away my heritage and replaced it with yours. That's...
Holy shit, you're right. Fuck. No,
That's-
so okay, so let me ask you a question. So what? So I mean, because like I respect you 100%, and I want to be able to identify you as you wish to be identified. I identify you as Hispanic, and in your eyes, that's incorrect. How would you identify yourself?
The problem with all of this is that these identities were created by Europeans and forcefully given to indigenous people to replace our real ethnicities and or ethnic identities. So if I identify with what you identify, you have won and you have completely erased me because I'm no longer identifying as my people. I'm identifying as you, as if saying I am just like you because you have taken everything that I am and replaced it with you. That's why it's problematic to me that I identify as the same as you, because I am in fact not you, not by lineage, not by ancestry, nothing. I am the opposite of you in this aspect. I am the people that your people effed over. If I take whatever terminologies that you give me, if I allow you to identify me, so you mean to tell me that you get to be the people that come, try to wipe us out, and after you try to wipe us out and we survive, you tell us, okay, you can no longer identify as a Arawak, Tarahumara, as a Mexica. You are now Hispanic. Not only did you physically try to erase me, but after you didn't achieve to 100% erase me, now you want to erase my ethnicity by giving me what you want me to identify. And that is part of the erasure, ethnic erasure. Has most of the men you've dated in your life have been Hispanics?
I do not date Hispanics. I don't prefer them. Mostly because my father was machista and I just have an aversion to people that identify themselves strongly as Hispanic, who heavily self-identify as Hispanic. I live in a very Hispanic community. We have all different kinds we have Puerto Ricans, Colombians, Ecuadorians, Salvadorians, Mexicans, Cubans. I don't relate. I never really wanted to associate, because a lot of that also came with my mother. My mother was very elitist as well. So she was always preoccupied with what the family looked like. You had to be a certain person. You had to act ladylike. You had to present yourself the proper way. So there was an elitism in my mother.
You begin to understand why I find it very problematic with identifying as Latino and Hispanic. Meanwhile, she identifies as that because, you see, Mims has been fighting to claim to be Hispanic, but she has now revealed she prefers not to date Hispanics because they're usually tend to be machistas. But see, the reality of things is that the machista, misogynist ideology comes from European influence. So this is why it's so important
100%.
to separate myself from the Hispanic and Latino, because she has been trying so hard to fight today to claim not to be white, but to instead claim to be Hispanic. But then she does an F with Hispanics. You get what I'm saying?
No. Oh, wait, let me, I may have misspoken. I used to not. I rejected being white because I identified more closely with my Cuban roots.
But your roots are in Europe.
No. Yes, my biology is European.
Mims has been rejected by other white people because of the mess that the European has created. This is not the doing of people of color, if you will. This is the doing of white people's. This is all white people's mess. All of it. The reason why I have an issue with what Mims is doing is because she is choosing an identity that we have no choice but to take on. We have had no choice but to take on that identity that she has the privilege to choose back and forth from. So this is their doing and this is their mess. So if they're suffering from this, I can't feel bad because this is all you. Your tears are supposed to make me feel guilty. We have no choice but to accept being a Cubano, a Puerto Riqueño. We're supposed to be Arawaks. We're supposed to be Zapoteco. But because of you, now we have to be a goddamn Cuban or a goddamn Mexican. But see, you are like, you know what? I know I'm white, but I feel like being Cuban.
I understand that I have the privilege to switch back and forth, but I don't choose to be Cuban. I have always been Cuban. I am Cuban. I am Cuban. And you can't take that away from me.
You're
and I will
American,
fight you
though.
to take that away from me.
In your birth certificate, it doesn't say Cuban.
You cannot tell me who I choose to identify as. And again, you cannot take that away from me.
I'm not taking away that you are Cuban. I'm telling you that you technically are not. It's not even an opinion of mine. It is a fact that you are not Cuban, because to be Cuban, you'd have to be born in Cuba, because Cuban is a nationality. I'm not taking nothing away from you. I am pointing out to you the fact that you are not Cuban.
The fact is that I am an American.
Yeah.
But I identify as a Cuban American. That makes me Cuban.
That's not what makes someone Cuban.
I would have been, had it not been for circumstances outside their control, I would have been Cuban if that wasn't taken from me.
No one took it from you, though. You just never were.
How dare you tell me that I cannot be and do not identify as being Cuban? I can't be who I want to be.
You
and who
could.
I feel that I am.
You could, but it's just not true, though.
You gotta see this.
Well, I've never really thought of white privilege. Obviously, I'm a white woman, but what I think about is really privilege is growing up with a mom and a dad. Right? That's privileged, right? Because a lot of kids don't have that. And I think you see that in the African American community where they're missing a mom or a dad, and they just stuck in this cycle of poverty. And I always see that as a privilege, but white privilege didn't give me any jobs. White privilege didn't get, and I'm a woman in politics. I'm a woman in Republican politics. But I didn't get anywhere by being white and having a privilege. I got there because I worked my ass off.
Right.
So.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
What's your situation?
My take on the white privilege thing is, if we're going to say there's white privilege, then you would have to say that there's some form of privilege for any race or any gender, any religion. If you're an attractive woman, you have a privilege. I think there's all different kinds of privileges. I don't know.
From the color of my skin, I don't think I would have gotten away with my career if I were a black girl.
Part of me thinks it's time to move on and knock it off and quit talking about it.
No, well, first you have to admit that something happened.
But we've come so far in America, in my opinion.
Right, we have come
so far.
So you don't think there's any race problem in this country?
No, but I think it's minuscule, and I think the way people are reacting are making it bigger.
But we have a lot of racial crimes happening right now, so it's hard to move on past
What do you
that.
mean racial crimes?
Like black men being shot by cops.
See, I don't see it.
I mean, that's not happening to me. I've never been pulled over once and felt in danger.
I don't, like, again, I just don't know what the answer is. I do agree that it exists. And I think we have to work harder in this country.
That white privilege exists?
No, I agree that black privilege exists.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way in this country with our history we could deny that.
The reason that I'm white passing is because my mom is white and so is my dad.
Are white people being replaced in the UK?
So what? So what? Wait, so what? Nobody's white.
Right.
Who's white?
Right.
Everybody's got a grandparent or a great-great-grandparent or a great-great-great-great-great-grandparent that came from somewhere else. So if we want to insist that only white people can come here, who are they? Like, have you gone too far by the time you get to Russia? Like, do we want Russians? Just because you're born in a country, should you be destined to live your life out in, I don't know, poverty or injustice? Like, I don't believe that you should be denied opportunity because of the country you were born in. I think immigration is vital because without it, you become a enclosed, closed-minded, shut down, culturally poor environment. The damage done during imperial empire colonialism could and should have a tranche of immigrants who, if they want to come here, hell yeah, they should come here.
The thing is, I feel it's not what I think, really. You know, I just watched that video with you as well, and these people don't just like the color of their skin. It's either some of them are saying they're too white, they look pale or something. Okay, let me give them the easiest way out, right? Okay, you don't want to be white. You can go get charcoal. I don't know if you know anything that is called charcoal. Charcoal is wood that has been burnt, right? The black substance. You can just, you know, you can blend it or grind it, and then you get a piece of it, add it to your cream, and start rubbing it. Because I don't know why you say you don't want to be white anymore, but you don't want your kids to play with black people. You don't want your children to talk to black people. You yourself, you don't want to have anything to do with black people. You are also a racist, but you don't like your skin color. For me, that is pure madness. It has got to do with for me, it is mental health. And when it has gotten to this point, those people really, really need help. You really need help. Like, come on, we are even the most marginalized in the world. Our skin color, right? But yet, we are still so proud of it. Like, we can wear it on our foreheads. We can write it boldly and tell people we love that we are black. Why can't you do the same? But you don't like us. You shame us. You shame our food. You shame the way we talk. You shame everything. But you don't like your color. That's a whole lot of mental illness. In fact, that is slavery. That is a whole lot of slavery. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Let me see it in the comments anyways. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead, subscribe, like, share these videos. And do not forget, my name is BJ on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.